I'm going to say that I think that what we're talking about here today is as much of a communications challenge as it is a climate challenge. And one of the problems that we face in the United States, and my viewpoint today is primarily from the United States, is a lack of awareness. And I think that there are really three things in my country that we really need to be aware of, and that's a lack of awareness and education, a lack of leadership, certainly, in the United States in terms of the whole climate change and tourism, and clear direction and accountability. And I think that what I've heard here today is certainly the beginning of a clear direction that hopefully people like myself can bring home to the country. But awareness is probably our biggest problem. I think part of the problem about awareness and climate change is the fact that when people are on vacation, they don't want to worry about problems. It's a happy time in their life, and it's one of the last times that they have to put away their BlackBerry and put away their problems and just enjoy themselves. And so therefore, awareness of a problem when you're on vacation is a problem in itself. We have an organization in the United States called the Tourism Industry of America, which is our largest industry association. And they recently have done a survey, which hasn't even been announced yet, but surveying about 2,200 Americans to determine their viewpoints about climate change and tourism. The good news is that about 3 out of 4 of them feel that they are environmentally conscious. But the bad news about it is that they really don't want to do much about it. They will make a choice to go with an environmentally conscious company if they're aware of it, but will they pay for it is a whole different question as well. And in fact, out of 2,200 respondents, only 300 people said that they would willingly pay a tariff of some sort for an environmentally conscious program. So part of our problem then is educating everyone, and but the next problem that we have is really clear direction. And the problem that we have is that there's no mandate, certainly from the top down, as you might be able to tell. And secondly, the true mandates are coming from the bottom up. They're coming from not even the industry, but really from the private sector. And in fact, some of the most active people in the United States are the private sector. TIA, which again is the largest industry association that we have in the travel industry, when asked if they had a position on climate change, they said no, and had no plans to have one in the near future. In fact, our focus really in the United States right now is repairing our image rather than repairing the climate. And secondly, the actual hotels are beginning to be a lot more active. Fairmont Hotel Company is one of the foremost companies in doing something about climate change with their program. Starwood has just announced an environmentally conscious chain of hotels. There are cities that are active, like my own, Chicago. We actually have an environmental program. While it's not focused on tourism, it does mandate, for example, the largest number of hotels to be certified by the Green Seal program. But it really is the mandate and the energy behind the program is coming from the bottom up. And so what I see is really important, and what we desperately need right now, at least in the US, and I would posit in much of the world, is an education and awareness program both to the industry and to the consumers. We really need to make an emotional connection with the consumer for them to care about it. And before we can actually move them, we have to make them care. I think, secondly, we have to have a lot of clear messaging. We have to have some very clear and measurable mandates for the industry as well as for the consumers, again, for them to care and for them to act. And then thirdly, and most dishearteningly, I wish we were as progressive as Sri Lanka, we need leadership. We desperately need leadership in the tourism industry to take us to the next step and to new heights. And again, I think that conferences like this one will definitely help take us light years in the future. Thank you.